everyone, First Order here, and welcome back to another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. In this video, we'll be discussing Capital Supremacy for the original trilogy and why DICE should add this in 2020 for future updates. I know they've been full-fledged, just going right into the Clone Wars, but, you know, I love the Clone Wars. I'd be perfectly fine with this game being only Clone Wars. Like, if this game was called Star Wars Battlefront 2 Clone Wars, I'd be fine. But it's not. There's other things in this game. Primarily the original trilogy, because the sequel trilogy doesn't have as many things in it currently to be kind of added into the game. However, the original trilogy is filled with content that could be explored, and, you know, from a wide survey of the fan base, since I've been on YouTube for about 2 years and Instagram for about 4 years now, the sequel trilogy isn't loved that much, so I really think after the Clone Wars they should focus on the original trilogy, and this is what I want them to do. This is kind of like a pitch to DICE on what to do for Capital Supremacy with the original trilogy. So it's somewhat of a meme in the Battlefront community to get instant dislikes if you want something other than the Clone Wars, but who knows how this video is going to do. I hope you guys just hear me out for those diehard Clone Wars fans, because I am like you, I am a diehard Clone Wars fan, but this is not a Clone Wars game. This is a Star Wars game, and there's other things in Star Wars that needs to be focused on. Anyway, let's just jump right into this. I want to discuss bringing original trilogy maps into Capital Supremacy, which maps would work best, the heroes, basically how they should do it, etc. Anyway, let's get started. Currently, there are 4 maps in Capital Supremacy: Naboo, Kashyyyk, Geonosis, and Kamino. 1 is a new map, while 3 are reused maps, with a 5th map, Felucia, coming this fall. Now, which current maps would work best for this type of game mode? Well, the original trilogy maps have Yavin 4, Hoth, Endor, Death Star 2, and Tatooine. 3 reused maps that could work wonderfully are Tatooine, Yavin 4, and Hoth. Death Star 2 couldn't support it for obvious reasons, and Endor is an extremely linear map with little variety in terms of, like, Naboo is a linear map, but it's extremely wide. The first part is extremely wide, while Endor is very thin. Not, like, I don't see how they could support Endor for Capital Supremacy. Tatooine, Capital Supremacy could easily fit into the Heroes vs. Villains arena. I've seen tons of fan-made creations on Reddit about how they can make Capital Supremacy work on these maps. Here's an image of the objectives that could possibly work on Tatooine Capital Supremacy. And the good thing about this is that it kind of adds a new touch to Capital Supremacy because, well, it is extremely close quarters. This would literally be the closest quarters map for Capital Supremacy that they could make. You know, maps like Geonosis are kind of close quarters, but at the same time it's not. You have close quarters engagements, like around the sea command post, but other maps like Kashyyyk or Naboo can be close quarters, but at the same time, Kashyyyk is an extremely wide map and is, I think, the largest one that they've made. So Tatooine being in Capital Supremacy would be extremely close quarters, which would be a nice change of heart. I couldn't find a Yavin 4 aerial look of the map, so here is an amazingly beautiful, detailed drawing of the map that I made. I know, it is amazing. This could also fit in Capital Supremacy game mode and would also be close quarters, similar to Tatooine. It literally fits perfectly for Capital Supremacy in terms of 5 command posts. Like, it is literally perfect. And finally, Hoth. Now, I can't do a beautifully detailed drawing of the map because, to be honest, I can't even picture how it looks in my head, but the outside portion of the Galactic Assault can fit well into the Capital Supremacy game mode. It's big enough, they could definitely just cut some things out and just add new things like Crash AT-ATs. Capital Supremacy on Hoth could definitely work. And next are heroes. Well, prequels got 4 heroes, so original trilogy needs 4. So which ones? Well, to start out with the Rebellion, Luke, Han, Chewbacca, and Leia. Those are the main 4, you know, you gotta have those in Capital Supremacy. And to balance it out with the Empire, Vader, Palpatine, Boba, and Iden Versio. This would balance out the hero system in the game, as these 8 are somewhat similar. And finally, something I've been wanting to talk about, adding a 4th map into Capital Supremacy for the original trilogy, Scarif Port from Battlefront 2015. This would be an amazing DLC and probably like the main DLC of this kind of portion of the game for the original trilogy in Capital Supremacy, because the other 3 are already in the game. Adding the Scarif map would add new Stormtrooper customization, which is already in the game from the final mission of the campaign, and possibly even add Director Krennic or Jyn Erso back into the game. This would be the largest DLC for the original trilogy Capital Supremacy game mode and would actually be a great start for them to have. And for a complete long shot, since they are adding 2 new maps in Capital Supremacy for prequel trilogy, why not create a new map from the original trilogy? Possibly a map from Star Wars Rebels, or make the Death Star Trench Run map for the second Death Star. The thing is with Capital Supremacy with the original trilogy, they already have the capital ships modeled with the interior as well. You can go into an Imperial Star Destroyer in the campaign, as well as a Rebellion Mon Cala cruiser in the campaign. Those two cruisers are in the game, the exterior and the interior. The exterior Star Destroyer and Mon Calamari cruiser is in the Endor Starfighter Assault map. Instead of making a complete new area for the Republic and Separatist cruisers, you already have somewhat an interior for the Imperial Star Destroyer and the Mon Calamari cruiser. The possibilities are endless for the Star Wars universe. Post 2019, after the Fall Flucia update, is really what I want to focus on, because that's really an open world to explore, because what's going to be in the game? Like, what are they adding? Are they still even going to focus on this game? There's two paths they can take. They can either just stop updating this game and just focus on small updates like balancing issues or glitches, etc., and focus on Battlefront 3, or they can continue to make content well into 2020 like they're doing now in 2019. They can make original trilogy stuff. They could even make a Rise of the Skywalker DLC. Like, they could easily just keep pushing this game until the next generation of consoles are released. Because I think that's when they're going to release Battlefront 3, after the next generation of consoles are released. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think that capital supremacy for the original trilogy is a good idea? Or do you think that they should focus 100% on the Clone Wars and not give a crap about any other thing in this game? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like, blast a like, and all that good stuff. Do you agree with my list, or do you think they should focus on other things and other game modes and just new content for the game? Anyway, if you are new, why don't you subscribe? For all things Star Wars, this is the First Order, signing out.
Sector is clear. Not clear! Not clear!